Checking in once again with Quincy City Council President Ian Kane to get an update on the November 18th council meeting. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Joe.
Great to talk to you. Appreciate these updates. It's a great way to kind of encapsulate what goes on to be about an hour or two meeting every night.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to be with you.
Big presentation last night, right, on the proposed Quarry Hills lease extension.
There was, yeah, that's how we started off the meeting. As you know, I think I don't even know how long ago it was. There's time just as a thing. So they had come in before with a proposal to extend the lease essentially by 99 years. And so after some conversations and some public feedback, it seemed that there was no real appetite for that, which is fine. And so they came back with another proposal and potential what would be an extension of the existing agreement by 50 years. And they came and gave a presentation on some of the issues and the concerns that had been addressed by the public before, and then outlined some of the highlights from the proposed lease extension. So, just enumerating the public concerns that have been addressed since the last time that this was put in front of us. First was about public safety in that intersection coming off of Route 93 at Rusciuti Drive. That has been a project that's been ongoing for 10 years. So that, was something that people were concerned about well before any extension to this lease or thereof. So that's been fixed. That project after 10 years has been completed over the summer. So there's a new light signals there, and apparently it is going very well for all parties involved. We have heard very positive feedback. There were some concerns about the trail conditions and signage. There were some trails, I guess, that were carved out and highlighted once the old dump was capped, and this was turned into the project that we know today. And so the trails, I guess, have been adequately cut out, and there's been appropriate signage to help people navigate. There are particular drainage conditions at the ball fields which have been addressed. There was a financial audit of the relationship between the city and Quarry Hills Associates that was deemed compliant. I have not seen that audit yet, but I have been assured that it will be presented to us before the ordinance committee meeting, which this project will be heard on December 9th. And then obviously the extension. So they've changed the lease term to a 50-year extension as opposed to a new 99-year lease. So it seems that, the highlights of the new proposed lease extension. So again, 50-year extension to the current lease. The Lions Turning Mill will be excluded from the lease. Again, the trail and access and signage, the installation and maintenance of informational signs at designated trailheads with semi-annual grooming of trails. There will be an option to purchase a portion of the leased premises, which would be 12 acres for the development of hotel. And there's a reconditioning of the playing fields on a 10-year periodic cycle, which is a recommendation by the City of Quincy Parks and Recreation Department. And then the formation of the Quarry Hills Advisory Committee, which is legacy from the old agreement, but something that was brought back up and in the last go around. And so that will be reformed. And it sounds like that will constitute the Ward 4 representative, a councilor at large, a commercial representative, a residential representative, the executive director of the Friends of Blue Hills, and then a representative from Marina Bay Management. So that's the outline of the new proposed lease. And so it'll be heard, we'll have a formal discussion. There'll be a public hearing and a discussion on this on Monday, December 9th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. Do you know when the current lease expires, Ian?
Yes. Give me a second. I have the the current lease. Well, it was dated in 94. And so I think
So we're 30 years.
we're 30 in. So it would have 20 left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the 50-year would be in addition added on to the 20. Is that how that would work?
That's my interpretation, yes.
Okay. So, and then were any of the financial terms discussed last night with regards to how much they will pay the city to lease the property?
No, there were no financial terms discussed last night. That will all come out at our ordinance committee meeting.
Yeah, okay. So how do you feel personally about it right now?
I mean, I think it's a very interesting project. I mean, something that came up last night, and I think we've already received some loose feedback about this, is that, and not that there wasn't a willingness to allow information to be conveyed to the public in different ways. I think a lot of these projects, again, which are taking on emotional qualities, which people are getting wrapped up in, kind of the telephone effect is working, where not all the information is accurate or appropriate. So, in this case, we're certainly just trying to make sure that all of the relevant, pertinent, and accurate information is out there so that people understand that we're making informed decisions. I got some emails over the last couple of days from people that were claiming that this was a park area or had been a park area, and I think that people might be misinterpreting the history of this property. This property was a landfill. It was a dump. And we'll have that conversation at the ordinance committee meeting, but I certainly want to bring out the amount of money that has been invested into this property, whether it's city land or private land, for the benefit of the city. I think it's been a welcomed attraction. I think that it's certainly, if there's going to be a hotel up there, I tell you, we run an event down in Quincy Center every year that attracts upwards of 500 people, and we don't have places for people to stay in this area. The Marriott is a very busy hotel. The hotels down up on Wood Road are okay, you know what I mean, but we're trying to attract a business crowd, and just to have another option at that location up on Quarry Hills, I think would be great for the city. We need more. I think we need more hotel units and to continue making Quincy a destination. And I think that, having continued, events, and whether they're for business events or whether they're for weddings and such, I think that, that's good business for Quincy.
So process-wise now, how will it work, Ian? Because I know ultimately this needs state approval, right?
Yes. So if we move this forward out of ordinance, if we move it forward out of the city council, then it will go up to the state legislature for their approval.
Okay. All right. And was there a timeline talked about at all as to when they'd like to, quote unquote, break ground, if you will?
No, there was talk about an 18-month due diligence period. So I think it would be, if this goes as swimmingly as they'd like it to, then it would probably be at least a year and a half before you'd see some things come out of the ground.
Yeah, so early 2026 perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. That was the bulk of the meeting, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of other things there. That was a good portion of it. We then went into there's a motion for a taking of a property which is located at 1305 Hancock Street. I believe that's the Acapulco's restaurant property at the corner there.
Yeah, it's 1384, not 1305.
I've got a 1305. What's 1305? City Hall?
Yes.
Sorry, that's what I'm reading here. 1305 Hancock is going to take 1384. But
you don't want to take something you already have.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good one. But we didn't discuss it. It went into committee, it went into ordinance, so I think we'll probably hear that in a couple of weeks as well.
Okay. Yeah, I know the mayor is hoping to put a pocket park there in honor of President John Quincy Adams.
Yes. Yep. The next item on the agenda it's basically the adoption of a allowing our city trust funds to be invested in accordance with what's called the prudent investment rule. So apparently there are some antiquated rules on the books that only allow for the city's trust funds to invest in 22 particular asset classes, I guess you will. And, some of the companies that were brought up last night were Hewlett Packard and like all these kind of old style companies that, might not even be around anymore. And so
yeah, used to call them blue chips years ago. Yeah.
Blue chip, exactly. Yeah. So apparently what that's doing is, limiting your diversification and thwarting the city's chances at actually creating greater returns for their trust funds. So apparently the rate of return as of October 30th of this year is only 2.36, which you can find better returns in many other places. And so what this will allow for is the city to invest in other types of equities and the S&P, et cetera, and different investment sectors that would hopefully enable the trust funds to garner greater returns. And this is based on a change in a law that I guess Governor Healy had signed last August in 2023.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, it's, I mean, 2.3 and not even beating inflation at that rate.
Oh, yes, correct. Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that passed unanimously. The next item on the agenda was an order relating to the disposition of unclaimed property. And so basically how the city treasurer, Molly Smith, put it is that this will be like Quincy's version of find mass money, so it's the unclaimed property division for the city of Quincy. There's apparently about $800,000 that are currently sitting in tailings, which means they're checks that haven't been collected from people from various things. The median check size is approximately $42. Again, this is sort of like cleaning up, but it allows the city to reallocate those funds in the event that they cannot be claimed by, a claimant.
Oh, okay. And do they have to go to any particular area or just the general fund?
I think they'll go to the general fund.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That passed unanimously. These are cool things. These are actually pretty innovative concepts to bring to the city. So I appreciate the treasurer bringing that. The next item on the agenda was amending municipal code around pawnbrokers. So apparently this upgrades the way that the city, especially the police, manage. So it's going to be an integration of technology and an integration with a regional network system that allows for the tracking, I guess, of how pawnbroking works within the city. That passed.
Okay.
That passed. Yeah, okay is right. That passed unanimously. And that was it for our meeting last night.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's just a regular council meeting, no committee meetings, right?
Nope, we did not have a committee meeting last night, but on our next scheduled meetings are Monday, December 2nd. We have a public hearing on some utilities. We go into the tax rate and utility presentation at 6:45, and then we've got a regular city council at 7 that evening. So Monday, December 2nd. And then so we'll talk then, and then the following week we'll have the ordinance committee meeting at 6:30 to discuss those items that we just reviewed.
Very good. I think Councilor Liang is the chair of that ordinance committee.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's correct.
Excellent. I always like to give you an opportunity to talk Ward 3, and if you have anything at all you want to touch on.
We've got our annual Christmas tree lighting, the Wollaston Hill Neighborhood Association, myself, the Wollaston School PTO hosts a Christmas tree lighting with Santa, and especially usually gets delivered by the Quincy Fire Department, which is always fun for the kids. That is I want to say it's 2 Fridays. It is the 6th of December, Friday at 6 p.m. at Safford Park. So we hope people can join then. And
Excellent.
then in the interim, right, we've got Thanksgiving next week. So that means we kick off all of the holiday season. So we've got the Kilroy Square Holiday Market that starts that Friday, the 29th, and goes through the weekend. We've got the Christmas Parade, Joe, which will be, what did you say? How many have you celebrated with us?
This will be the 71st for the city, and it'll be about the 40th for me.
Awesome. That is commitment and dedication to the city.
or something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that'll be the 1st of December. So it's great. I mean, Quincy does Christmas right. The spirit is always high here. So I look forward to seeing everybody out and about, and hope we have, great weather like this, at least clear skies.
Yeah, of course, it all starts with the Thanksgiving Day football game, then turning on the lights, the Santa helicoptering into Pageant Field, and the big parade. Yeah. All right, Ian, thank you so much. Always great to catch up with you. And
Thanks,
want to
Joe.
wish you and yours a very happy, healthy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much to you and yours as well, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.